Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today, I am here to do not quite a vlog. Now, honestly, this is just me being lazy, but I want to talk about TOKFEST and MEGACON and do a vlog style video for the weekend because it was absolutely incredible. But at the same time, I've made 2 videos about this already on TikTok, which I will try and link in the description if I can remember, which are just vlogs of the weekend. However, I've edited 2 already, and each of them took about 50 minutes for 2 3-minute videos. And I don't know if I can be asked to do another one for YouTube for the full weekend, which would end up being like 2 hours. I've made attempts to start it and just can't get into it. So instead, we're doing a bit of a different video where I'll be showing clips and things off to the side in this general area while I'm editing and talking about the weekend here. Just as a bit of a different style for a vlog. Now, where to start? I think we should start on the Saturday, because that was the first day of MEGACON. Actually, no, we'll start on the Friday. So, on the Friday, we didn't have actually anything to do with MEGACON or TOKFEST. It was just getting ready and getting up to Birmingham. So what we did was, had a normal day at college, had a normal day of just boring stuff, wheeled home, had a new record for getting home, by the way. Normally it takes me about an hour to push home, 50 minutes, but this time it took me about 40 minutes. Plus I fell out my wheelchair and stopped in the shop. So, you know, I am speedy boy. So, had the bags packed, got the car ready, and we had a long drive. You know, it was just a car drive, nothing really interesting happened. You know, just general hype for MEGACON. Got to the hotel, chilled for the evening, and then the fun starts on the Saturday morning, where we wake up, have breakfast, and instantly go down to the NEC. I go as Robin to start off with, however, I do take a backpack with my Spider-Man costume in, because that's my most comfortable suit, firstly, as well as a suit that I feel looks one of the best on me. So I took that, as well as Robin, because also Robin has the cape, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work with the wheelchair, but it turned out to be pretty good. When I had it untucked, the cape was quite light, so it was able to like flow behind me quite nicely, and when I didn't have it tucked, or when I did have it tucked, it was quite small and thin, so it was able to get tucked under really nicely without getting caught in the wheels or anything like that. Did a little bit of exploration when we first got to the NEC, had to go and get the tickets and things and put my bag in storage and stuff. And then we didn't know what to do. We were sat in the like hallway between the MEGACON and TOKFEST areas for about 20 minutes before we decided what one to go in, including all of the ticket wristband stuff, obviously, because that was one of the biggest issues. And once we had the wristbands, we ended up going into TOKFEST, and one thing that I will say about TOKFEST is that it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't bad. There were quite a few things that I enjoyed about it. The talk panels were probably the highlights for me personally. However, there wasn't that much to really do. The tap-tap booth was also nice. That was one of the first things that we kind of went past, but we didn't actually do anything with until the second day. But yeah, the talk panels were good. The other stalls were basically just t-shirt merch shops where you could meet and greet TikTokers. However, I didn't know many of them because I'm not cool. I recognised them from TikTok, but I didn't watch their content, so I didn't really have that much of a connection to them. TOKFEST was more of a, I didn't have an appreciation for it. It was good, I really enjoyed it, the vibe was nice. And again, the talk panels were definite highlights that I found both really interesting and beneficial. They had 2 theme park rides, which was pretty cool. One was the Sizzler and one was the Waltzer, I think. I'm not very good with theme parks. I get very easily scared, so obviously, again, wasn't really my cup of tea. I didn't go on them, although it would have been fun. I can imagine like going on one of the rides with a cape on and just having that flowing behind me be pretty cool. By the way, one thing I did get from TOKFEST was this shirt, which was pretty cool. Really happy with it. Got a small, and it fit me quite nicely. So, yeah. What else was there? We had a small explore on TOKFEST, didn't actually do that much. And then we went through like the gateway between TOKFEST and MegaCon. But when we were going up to the gateway in TOKFEST, they did have some pretty cool backdrop things, which I didn't make too much use of. And again, I didn't use it to its full potential. But they had like a bunch of scenery and backdrops and things, and like small props that you could use for both making TikToks, taking pictures, and using as photo shoot displays, which would have been amazing. I did take a couple of pictures, but again, I didn't really use it to its max because I didn't go there with content ideas in mind. One of the next things that we did was went from TOKFEST into MegaCon, and almost instantly when we went into MegaCon, I found this Batarang prop, which I brought. It's just a 3D printed Batarang, but it looks really cool, and it's quite lightweight, so I did just stab myself in the chest with it. So I can use it for videos, and I will definitely be using it for future content. This was separately, but I did also get a grapple hook, which again is going to make appearances in future videos, but I didn't get a MegaCon or TOKFEST, so I'm not going to bother to go grab it, but future stuff. Future installments, my guys. Now, we went through and got the Batarang, obviously, and had a bit more of a wander through the shops. I didn't get that much. I mean, I say that. I did get some pretty cool things. I did also get... This is me while editing. That was satisfying. Let's watch that in replay. I did also get these 2 canvas prints. One for Venom and Carnage and Spider-Man, and the other one of Aang from Avatar. Which, again, both very cool. And I look forward to displaying soon. I'm going to hang them up. And I also got a lightsaber, which I can't be bothered to go out and grab because it's just a lightsaber. It lights up. It wasn't like a replica lightsaber from any specific character. It was just a silver hilt with a blade. Quite a short blade, which I think works better for me. And again, you'll probably see it in future content. So yeah, that's what I bought. I didn't actually buy that much. But I did have a really good time. I met some amazing people, by the way. So I spent a bit of time in MegaCon as Robin and needed to go to the toilet and thought it was a good time to take a chance to go and get into the Spider-Man suit. So I did that. And this is where the fun started, where me and my dad started to make jokes about the fact that I was wearing web shoes and stuff. So what I started to do was like pretend to shoot a web and then swing along. But because I'm in the wheelchair, I'd do a wheel or like a push before doing it and wheeling along. You see it in maybe 1 or 2 clips. Met some amazing people. Then we had a Marvel meet, which was possibly my highlight of the entire weekend for both days. We did 2 Marvel meets, and they were amazing. They were so much fun. Meeting like-minded people, massive Marvel nerds. Everyone's cosplays were great. It was just... Oh. The Marvel meets were... They're amazing. So good. Did a couple of pictures on the first day. We did like all the Spider people in one picture, and then we did massive group ones of just MCU characters, and then we did another one of like Disney Plus characters, and you know, different themes like that for the pictures, which again I think worked quite well. Forgot to mention that we did a Marvel wedding where it was Miss Fantastic and Invisible Woman getting married, and then like all of the other Marvel characters in the background, which is quite cool. We ended up making a Spider-Man group chat where all of us Spider people are now in a Spider-Verse group chat, and it is amazing. We have been having a blast and have spoken about a couple of collaborations for photo shoots. We've spoken about getting people together and hiring a photographer or a professional photographer to do work with us. Now, after the Marvel meet, we didn't do that much. We literally had another quick look around TOKFEST and then headed home. Tap Tap is going to be a future thing for the channel. It's a fun little mini game, basically. I won't go into too much detail, but I had a chance to use one of their products and speak to a couple of the people that were there promoting it, and there might be some stuff to come. I ended up getting one for myself, and it's so fun. It's so satisfying to like play the 5 little mini games. Storage ran out. Storage on my phone died, so I can't actually remember whereabouts I was during this like vlog thing. I don't even know what to call it. But I think we were pretty much done. Went home, or went to the hotel, got changed into regular clothes, out of cosplay, out of the Spider-Man suit, and went out clubbing in Birmingham, which was quite a fun experience. I can't remember the name of the club bar thing that we went to, but it was quite nice. The vibe was good. They had a random person there holding an inflatable doll above their head, which was a sight to behold. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it on the video, so I'll just leave it out. Yeah, it was quite a nice evening. Stayed out quite late, and then went back to the hotel, watched movies again for a while, and then went to bed. All in time to wake up the next morning. Now, the Sunday morning was a little bit different. What we did was we packed the car to go, like to come back home, because we were coming back home on the Sunday as well. We weren't going to stay for the Monday morning. So what we did was we packed the car. I got changed into my Doctor Strange outfit while at the hotel, and we didn't have breakfast at the hotel. We had breakfast at the MCM, not MCM, at the NEC. Because on the Saturday, we noticed that they had a Wetherspoons there. So we went into the Wetherspoons and had breakfast there. We had, like, pancakes and bacon, and it was beautiful. But while we were there, it was quite an interesting experience to not only be having breakfast as Doctor Strange, right? But to be having breakfast as Doctor Strange and just to casually see, like, an X-Wing pilot walk past you, or, you know, another Doctor Strange variant and Scarlet Witch walk past you, or Arcane characters, League of Legends, Arcane, Vi and Jinx, you know, having breakfast right in front of me. It was such a cool experience. And honestly, I think, again, that was probably another highlight. And that is something that I did notice, is a lot of my highlights were the people there, you know, the Marvel meetup. It was the people there that made that so amazing. Some stuff later on in the day, which I will get to. Obviously the breakfast, you know, just random as fuck. Just so cool. And again, the talks for TOKFEST were amazing. The talks for MEGACON, I didn't go to many, but the ones that I did see and the shows that they were doing were quite interesting. I think TOKFEST did have them beat for that, but obviously the rest of it was still good in MEGACON, so they each had they both had each of their own benefits, and it was kind of cool to see both things have a different thing for me to go and do. So anyway, we had breakfast, and then went off into MEGACON to start off with, because we had to go and get a charger for a lightsaber, you know, the one that I mentioned earlier, because we realised that the charger that came with it didn't have the right end, so we couldn't use it, so they swapped it over for us. No issues. It was just, yeah, sure, sorry about that. Done. Then we went off and had another day in TOKFEST, in MEGACON, where I ran into a couple of my fellow spiderlings, and it was quite funny because a couple of them weren't in the group chat yet, because we either hadn't spoken and it was their first day there, or they were, like, not reading the messages or whatever. So it was funny, I'd go up to the group of spider people, because they were in a friendship group already. I go up to them and, like, so who's in the group chat? And then, like, 3 of them looked at me and were like, what? And then, like, 2 of them, like, in the back, like, nodded at me and like, yeah. It was funnier than it should have been, you know, like, 3 of them are like, what the fuck? And then the others are like, oh yeah, spoke to you last night. Yeah, that was quite fun. And everyone is now in the group chat, I believe. We had a couple of people leave and a couple of other people join after. But I think that's all I can really say about the spiders, because what I wanted to do this day was, because we were doing another Marvel meetup I wanted to do it as Doctor Strange this time, because I'd done Spider-Man before. I took Spider-Man with me again. Robin was in the car, so Spider-Man was in my bag in the cloakroom, so I could do him later on in the day. So I thought I'd stay as Doctor Strange, change it up a little bit, have a difference between the 2 days. But there were so many spider people on Sunday. Like, if I had done it the other way around, where it was Doctor Strange on the first day, or Robin on the first day, and then Spider-Man on the Sunday, it would have been so cool, because there were so many spider people. But, you know, it is what it is. It was still fun as Doctor Strange. A quick look around TOKFEST, see if there was anything new. There wasn't actually that much. But it was still cool to go there and have a look at what's going on. And they had an inflatable minion, which is pretty cool. But MEGACON was probably my highlight, personally, because there was just such a nice atmosphere, so much going on. Everyone's cosplays were amazing. And the Marvel Meetup Day 2. So, for a bit of back context, I was going along and wanted to quickly stop at a stall while my dad walked along and had a look at something else. And as I finished looking at the stall, I go to leave and I see TikTok Jesus, Scotty Wartooth, and I kind of had a bit of a moment where I was like, oh shit, is it him? Is it? But it was. So I went up to him and said hello and had a bit of an introduction, took a picture with him, and that was that. And, you know, I was already over the moon by that. Really happy, looking forward to, you know, talking about it with my dad later. Catch up with my dad and, you know, go about our day. And I also see Grace, or not quite Spidey. She's another fellow cosplayer that I really like her content. She does some really funny stuff on TikTok, as well as great photo shoots on Instagram. Like, and then it was time for the Marvel Meetup, where I go there, waiting around as Doctor Strange, messing around with my magic and stuff like that, and just kind of chilling. When I see Scotty Wartooth again, and I say to my dad, oh, hey, that's the dude, that's TikTok Jesus. And, you know, he's like, you should go and ask him to record a video with you. And I was like, that'd be pretty cool. I could go up to him and be like, hey, can you fix my disability? And anyway, it ended up into a video. We ended up making content together, and it was my first time doing a collaboration with someone else, which was also probably why I was so awkward with it, because it was literally just, I went up to him and said, hey, do you mind if we make a video? Explained the video partially to him. I left out one small detail about the fact that I'd be falling, mainly because I wasn't going to. We had spoken about doing it, and I was possibly going to, depending on what his reaction to recording was. And yeah, now it was time for the Marvel Meetup, where, again, we didn't do that much different to the first day. It was just there was a lot more people there on the Sunday than the Saturday, and it was quite fun. Meeting everyone, again, made a bunch of friends, and had some really fun memories. Then, after that, we didn't have that much longer left before we'd have to start heading home, because it was still quite a long drive back. So, had a quick last look around at everything, all the stalls and stuff, as Spider-Man, and then it was time to go home, where we stopped, had lunch, or had dinner, lunch. It was like a bit of a dunch, breakfast lunch, but dinner lunch. And yeah, that was kind of it. After is came home, unpacked, and just kind of chilled. But as a sum up for the weekend, as a final talk for the weekend, because this is probably the last bit of content that I'm going to do with it. I think I've got like a couple more TikToks that I recorded, and that's going to be it. But to sum it all up, it was an amazing experience. I met a couple of you guys as well. One thing that I did forget to mention is I did 2 photo shoots over the weekend, both on the Sunday, with photographers. One of them has sent me the pictures, which will be on Instagram again soon. It just comes around to when I edit them. And I'm waiting to hear back from another photographer that I did work with. But they were both amazing, really fun to take pictures with. And again, thank you if you ever watch this video. And yeah, it's something that I'm not going to forget. I've only just started to recover from like the post-con blues. There was so much going on, and I met so many cool people, so many new friends, and I can't wait for the next one. I've applied to go to MCM London. That's May, I believe. So waiting to hear back from them, depending on if I go or not. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all of that usual stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye.